Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the Super Metroid 100% Winter Tournament. We are now in the single elimination stages, and our first real match we got showing you for today is Feral5x versus kekumanshoyu. This is going to be an interesting race, ladies and gentlemen. As we both know, kekumanshoyu has an enjoyment with doing 100%, specifically the new route variation, same with Feral. But Feral most recently came back from GDQ doing a rotation run, so we got to see if rotation is now off his mind, and 100% is at the forefront of his mind in the right access. So far, both players pretty respectable time there, about 35 seconds to get into the main chamber where the little Metroid is being held. And we're gonna have our first squabble with Ridley, as always. Ridley, a very optional fight. Speedrunning purposes, you just take a bunch of licks from his tail and you move on. And yeah, and then we get the wonderful self-destruct sequence. So again, nothing too out of the ordinary. Basic stuff, you know. Now we just get escape in a building that's blowing up because we decided to make an angry little dragon angry. Well, he's not really little, is he? Ooh, Farrell having a bad start getting up on the shaft here to try to get out. He took a couple puffs on a setback, so it set him back from what possibly could have been a 45 or 47 escape to about a 42. But it's okay because Kekiman Shoyu only logged in with about a 44. So there's only 2 seconds between each racer at the moment. But that's not going to be the main deciding factor. The main deciding factor is going to come into play after we start to roll into the more heavier physics, like, what are we going to do after we get morph ball and bombs and stuff? How are we going to separate that way? So, if there's any problems when it comes to Sarah's station, we can easily fix them up. All right, both racers respectively about a 218 onto the planet. That's a good place to start if you want to keep a good pace. Sometimes you want to aim for 215. Of course, again, that requires a very flawless Ceres. Both almost managed to pull that off. It's just a slight difficulties at the end. But as you can see, nothing is holding them back. Perfectly falling down into the main shaft of Old Kateria here. Excuse me, Old Torian. Coming their way down the old escape route. And as you can see, they're both counting off shots to help them guess out where they're going to have to move. And it takes 6 shots if you shoot the wall to let you know, hey, on the 6th shot, I need to move to the left to avoid that one little block they put right in the way. And almost in sync with these elevators. Again, just like maybe a hair fracture left. Seeing 316 mock balls, very interesting. And whoops. Kickman sure you thought he had it point blank when he did the turnaround, but unfortunately was a tad bit too early. So that will give Farrell a chance to start the ascent out back up to wake up the planet. But it doesn't look like he's sweating it too bad, so he's definitely making up the ground. Alright, the planet is awake, and now it's time to face some pirates. Alright, here we go. Farrell is the first one to make it back up the shaft and start. He's clicking to the right wall here to do his wall jumps, stopping every now and again to shoot a pirate off the wall. Kekuman Shoyu is also doing the same thing. I noticed a lot of people specifically have not done the behemoth strategy, which is to hug the inside and jump like crazy. But hey, everyone has their own strategy, and if it gets you up the wall faster, do what you gotta do. So our first target here, with a very nice clean mock ball by Feral, is we're going down to take out Bomb Terizo. Bomb Terizo holds our sacred bombs, and we need those to advance further into the planet. A nice 5-minute bomb pickup by Feral. He'll be the first one to take off against Bomb Terizo. And the one thing you want to remember about Bomb Terizo is he's the first real enemy that introduces us to invisibility frames. And what that means is you can't just, rapid fire pop off shots and expect to do damage to them. You have to stagger your shots with like a second in between in order to do like some serious damage. And especially quick damage too. Very nice round of Bomb Terizo by Feral. Kekumanshoyu having a good start too, keeping him in the corner. Ooh, he's getting swiped at. That's an unusual pattern from Bomb Terizo for Kekumanshoyu, who's taken a lot of damage in this fight. Buzz does manage to clean it up nicely. Alrighty, Feral got our very first energy tank of the game after escaping from Alcatraz. Alcatraz is one of our first early special trick maneuvers. We use our capability of wall jumping and pinpoint mockballing, where we morph in the air to slide through the crack and keep on rolling without having to blow open the extra passage over to the right. By doing this, we save about, I want to say, an average of 15 to 20 seconds, because it takes about that amount of time to blow open the whole passage that's over on the right just to keep on going. So having figured this out, this is a good start to learning speedrunning. Mastering Alcatraz is one good way to actually get a mastery on things. Another good thing to start out with masteries for speedrunning, this here right here, we see Feral made it across the infinite bridge of death here. Can be the very, very disastrous way to end a randomizer if you don't have bombs of some sort or a morph ball. But the whole process is they're doing a soft morph, and what a soft morph is they sit there and they time it. So as they go into the door, they're waiting to hit the platform at the exact moment they need to when they touch it to enter morph ball. And if they do this correctly, Samus doesn't bounce. It maintains a lot of momentum and allows you to just zip on by these gates with no problem. As we can see, both had absolutely no problems whatsoever, so their rewards are early super missiles, 2 extra things of missiles, and a reserve tank. And Feral, with a nice return trip there, was trying to go for the down tap to break the block and fall through freely with all of his momentum. Unfortunately, did not get it. But thankfully, again, we have bombs, so no problem. We can just bomb that hole and be on our way. Very nice mock ball there by Feral. Got it timed just right. Almost had a disastrous fate with the Rai, but get through it just carefully. Kekumanshoyu makes it through definitely nice on the return trip with the mock ball. Cuts himself short to get the missile. And Feral now is in our favorite part of the game. We are in Big Pink. Big Pink is a very collective place to be. You get a lot of cool items, such as Charge Beam, as you can see that he collected just now. It's also home to the very infamous DLC boss, Spore Spawn, which we can also just bypass him too with some neat tricks, which we'll be doing later on in our run. And as you can see, some players are opting to leave Big Pink to be collected fully afterwards. So they go through all this, and then they wait to gather everything at Big Pink until later on in the run. Because this way they can swoop up everything together in one nice clean faction. And as we can see, we now have Feral, who just made it to Red Tower. And one of the things we get to collect while we're here in Red Tower, which normally we don't collect in any percent, but because this is 100%, we need this, and it's a great damage booster. It is Spazer. This now gives us 3 beams firing out at once and ups our damage overall, plus makes our charge damage a lot better. Meanwhile, Kekumanshoyu is now on his way to Red Tower and will now begin the descent as well to go get Spazer. Additionally, Red Tower is sort of our hub station. It's got a couple places we can go to. We have Meridia, which we'll see coming up on Feral's side of the screen. We have Meridia in the tube there that we have to break later on. We have Kraid, which we'll be going to, which is over on our right side of this elevator. And a very clean entrance by Feral there, making sure to shoot his super missiles ever so correctly and opens the path up to be able to just keep on running straight through. And he will be starting on his way to go take out Kraid, our first real boss of the game. We can see Feral blazing through Kraid's warehouse here. And late shoutouts, but he had 69 energy prior to that D-boost. Oh, Kekumanshoyu follows up Feral's clean entrance with a very clean entrance of his own. Very nicely done. Now let's see if Feral can do this correctly. And he nails the quick kill. Now we got Kekumanshoyu, who's down the hallway starting into the warehouse, picks up his supers from the mini Kraid, and will now begin his challenge against Kraid. Let's see if he can get the quick kill. Meanwhile, we have Feral, who just robbed the freezer and took the Various suit, which will now give him heat protection, so now he can begin to his ascent down the elevator that he passed up to come here, down to Norfair without any problems. Various suit, a very nice thing to have again. We have heat resistance. Other later games, it provides cold resistance. But very most importantly, just allows us to navigate Norfair without suffering a lot of negative damage. And as we can see, Kekumanshoyu also had a very nice clean quick kill. Picks up from the freezer the Various suit himself. Meanwhile, we have Feral, who's in the fridge, stealing the energy tank and having fun with the B-toms. So we mentioned it a little bit before about route variation and where it comes up to old route and new route. So the deviation starts here in Norfair, coming up on Bubble Mountain. On Bubble Mountain, we get 2 key items, Speed Booster and Wave Beam. Wave Beam, obviously a great asset to have in our utility belt, and Speed Booster is a speedrunner's, well, amazing dream. Allows you to do stupid things that you should not normally be able to do. But it's after getting these items that we have choices we can make. We can either go and get Ice Beam and head back out over to the wrecked ship, which will start the later half of the game. We'll be doing ice clipping in order to get certain items, one particular Spring Ball. Or, after we get Speed and Wave, we choose to go to Crocomire instead and get Grapple. As far as I know, both players here are new route runners, and those are the ones that do the ice clip for Spring Ball, so they'll be getting late grapple versus early grapple, which also means we'll be having a later fight with Crocomire. And pre-warnings now, if you have epilepsy, I'd avoid looking at Crocomire on the screen. Spoilers, it will flash a lot. As we can see, Kekumanshoyu now just got high jump boots. Meanwhile, we have Feral, who is in the cathedral, making his way across the flaming path of death for any percent runners who decide to go balls deep and forget that Varia exists. Or they're just doing double anti-bingo. It looked like Feral was trying to time out a mock ball there. Unfortunately, it did not look like he got the boost he wanted, but he still managed to save some energy going through that room. Very nice wall jump. Almost got trolled by final boss Cack Attack. Unfortunately for the Cack Attack, He did not realize that Feral had primed a super just for it. Feels bad, man. Attack never had a chance. As you can see, we have Kekumanshoyu, who is just finishing up the latter half of Cathedral. Meanwhile, we have Feral, who just made his way down the Speed Booster ramp. Will be collecting Speed Booster and be giving Sonic a run for his money. Again, Attack trying to troll on Kekumanshoyu this time. Again, Kekumanshoyu, answering Feral's reply, had a super on the ready and showed the Attack who's boss. Meanwhile, we have a high five in the tunnel, as Feral goes flying on by, and Kekumanshoyu picks up Speed Booster. Well, will be shortly, rather. And we can see Feral is on his way to pick up Wave Beam, and again, this is our last item before we have the deviation of the routes, again, between old and new. Again, old route, we go to say hi to Crocomire. And in new route, we tell Crocomire we'll be sending him an IOU, and we'll be by to see him shortly. But with Wave Beam, we now have the penetration power to go through walls and everything, so it's amazing. Feral, I'm not quite sure what he was aiming to do there with the Namehei cousin, just, saying hello. Okay, Kekumanshoyu had a small trip down himself, but makes a very excellent recovery there. Almost no time lost in the process. Now we got Feral, who is back in Bubble Mountain, making his way down. As Kekumanshoyu picks up the Wave Beam. As you can see, Feral blatantly jumping over the hole to go say hi to Crocomire, and getting some Sonic speed. Kekumanshoyu, nice D-boost off the Ripper there in the return room from Wave Beam. Very nice job. We can see Feral opened up the door to Ice Beam. Gets into a Speedball. Gets a nice 2 bounce off to the second platform. Has to make the rest of the distance to the third and the door. But it was a very nice shot in. Saves a little bit of time there. And that's what speedrunning's about, folks. Save the frames, but still save the animals. Kekumanshoyu also using Speed Booster himself. Coming back on the return trip. He's going to be going straight to Ice Beam as well. So again, both players are going to be doing new routes. So it's literally going to come down to how well they planned each other's, routes. Like how well they watch each other and see what happened. To see how they're going to go, in save time against each other. One of the biggest time saves will be the first person to get Spring Ball from Meridia. That will definitely be, a very good sign of who may or may not be walking out with the trophy today. And by trophy, I mean the chance to move on. So again, we have Kekumanshoyu, who just picked up his Ice Beam, and we have Feral, who's charging up for the Alpha Spark. Again, Alpha Spark is our technical first Shine Spark of the game. We use it to save some distance coming back from Red Tower. Kekumanshoyu almost had that Mock Ball, unfortunately took a nice acid bath in the process. There we go. Some of these more advanced tricks can definitely take a lot of time to learn. That there is one of the tricks that definitely takes some time to get used to. Because again, you're trying to use mock balling and you're trying to use tight platforming to get it done. Additionally, you are wearing high jump boots, so it's like you have to make sure to just ever so slightly tap it. Not like, not like tap, hold, let go. Like one of those just tap it in you. Kind of like putting a golf ball, I guess would be the best way to say it. You just want to just give it enough to go through. And we have Feral with a nice D boost off the. I have no idea what those yellow spongy things are. I have yet to look up their name. Kekumanshoyu was going to do the Alpha Spark, unfortunately forgot he froze the Cack Attack in place and ended up running straight into the Cack Attack. That's okay though, he still has plenty of time to catch up to Feral, who just finished up getting the power bombs and the missiles behind it, and will now be heading off to the 3 giant side hoppers. And we have some different strategies to take these guys out. We can use our newly found power bombs at the end and lay a power bomb. The blast radius will tap them twice after their invisibility frames run out in order to kill them. Additionally, if we come in there with a full speed booster charge, we could Shine Spark into the ceiling and have the echoes of the Shine Spark take them out too. And our reward is another power bomb package, which, hey, more power bombs, more fun. Kekumanshoyu getting a nice D boost to go get the first power bomb himself. We have Feral having a little bit of trouble dancing with the crabs, getting up the shaft here to get over to the wrecked ship. Lays the power bomb to take out the first key hunter. Shoots a missile at the second one. Charges up a very nice short charge. Shoots the missile. I think the missile just might be a little bit too far off screen. We will find out in a moment. Oh, he actually got it perfectly. Nice. And that's a very perfect ocean flag. And Feral now setting himself up with 81 energy on the fly and 41 left in the tank in the reserve. He is going to enter Phantoon's battlegrounds. He is hoping some fast patterns. He's definitely going to need some fast patterns and some instantly timed X factors in order to take out Phantoon in 2 rounds and take the minimal amount of damage possible. We have seen runs go to the wayside just because of low energy counts and Phantoon being a troll. May RNGesus be with them both. Kekumanshoyu lining up, shoots the missile. Misses the moat missile, but he does get the shot in and gets himself a very nice ocean fly. He himself gets set up. He has 30 left in the tank in the reserve and 187 in the main. And for those asking if there's any guessing numbers or mod statusing from Phantoon being favorable, that's only for oats and goats. So far, he's having a bit of a slow pattern, but he did get some energy back. Unfortunately, Phantoon stopping right on top of him that time is now trolling him. Feral trying to get the X Factor to put in, gets it finally, boom. With 6 left in the main health, and again, he only has 40-something left in his reserve, so it's only going to take 3 more taps from Phantoon if he does not get any health pickups, especially off of this very slow pattern. There's the first hit. We now down to 27 in the tank. Feral needs to be careful here. It looked like he switched to super missiles. It almost looked like he was going to set off Phantoon's rage mode. That would have been bad. Ooh! Feral nicely timed done. Almost got Sunrise surprised, but manages to get Phantoon, stun him with a missile, shove him a super, and call it a day. Kekumanshoyu got a fast pattern to start, gets the first X Factor in. Phantoon taking his time now, being a little less lenient. Looks like he's going to give him a slow pattern. Ready's the X Factor. And it looks like only one particle got in on that one. Ouch. But again, very nice clutch victory there by Feral, definitely pulling it off. And Kekumanshoyu making it up here, even though he only got the 1 X Factor in on the second round, manages to land the other 2, plus a super and a regular missile. Night-night, Phantoony. So any problems that were separating Kekumanshoyu and Feral before have almost just been completely obliterated. There's about maybe, I want to say 20 to 30 seconds between the two of them at this current moment. between getting items and completion. Because now we just have the fun task of picking up the rest of the wreck ship here, and then we have to go to the attic and get stuff ready so we can go get our gravity suit, and then take our descent down to the depths of the water world. But here we're picking up two very important things. We have two super missiles on either side of the ship at this location, and then we have the worst room in the game in 100%, a spiky room of death. Again, I've seen numerous amount of runs take a complete nosedive to this room and have allowed people to either catch up or completely dominate their opponents just because they end up slipping or missing and they go straight down below the spike platform and they get crushed. It's almost near instant death. Feral here, we have a couple options. It looks like he's lining up to do the horizontal bomb jump. There we go. Excuse me, I meant to say vertical. Diagonal. Excuse me, diagonal. I had to think about what direction I was thinking about. So you can see kekumanshoyu takes a very interesting close D-boost there. Kekumanshoyu is playing it rather dangerously a little bit here every now and again. But it's definitely paying off for him, so, you know, hey, if the shoe fits. Kekumanshoyu sets up, gets it himself. And alternatively, what you could do is you could execute a very, very risky jump into the middle of nowhere, screaming Leroy Jenkins if you so desire to also pick up that energy tank. But again, only someone that's crazy enough and has the mastery of the game would attempt to do that. So as you can see now, Feral is now cleaning up the attic here. Our goal here is to clean up one side of it in order to complete the other. Interestingly enough, Feral decided to clean up the right side first, so I don't know if that was intentional or if he had an oops. But hey, he's making it work nevertheless. And here comes kekumanshoyu, who is coming up to the attic himself. So again, any ground that was really separating them for any chance of it just being one-sided is pretty much going null and void at this point. Ooh, kekumanshoyu, nice speed keep. Manages to get a jump out of the mark of the speed ball in order to retain speed booster for a little bit just to blast the atomic to bits. That's impressive. Like, I heard of speed keeping, but dang. Also, yes, Feral just weaseling his way through that last ball. kekumanshoyu making nice use of a little bit of invisibility frames to squeeze back the second robot. Feral is now outside of the wreck ship getting the outside missiles. And then we'll be diving down to our fun room of how many hits can we take. Yeah, I guess we could call that a variation of the Blue Bomber, per se. Although, why we're using a Mega Man, the name for Mega Man, to call a speed keeping move, I have no idea. Feral deciding not to do Bowling Spark, stops himself short, takes one hit, takes two hits, and he doesn't offer the behemoth trick of shooting downward. And now Feral is going to be taking a much needed water break. kekumanshoyu set himself up with some power bombs. Jumps into the deep. One hit. Two hit. Three hit. It looked like he was going to lay a power bomb. He does it at the very end. kekumanshoyu taking a chance to take a little chat out to the crowd. I mean, hey, why not? Check your Tinder, get a drink, eat some bowl of rice, you know. do something that makes you feel happy. We have Feral, who just picked up the reserve tank. Kekumanshoyu lays another power bomb. Thank you, EOD Tex, for the explanation of what a blue bomber is in the chat there. Blue bomber is spring-balling, unmorphing, straight vertical movement with a blue suit. So, we'll just go back to saying that Kekumanshoyu had a speed keep. And we'll call that a day. Anyways, speaking of our racers, Feral and Kekumanshoyu, Feral just managed to escape a slight head away from Kekumanshoyu with the gravity suit, but that does nothing because Feral5x. Good job, me. Kekumanshoyu has just gotten gravity himself. Alrighty, so after grabbing gravity, we have a couple of different things we can do. One of the first things we're going to do is we're going to go and get some power bombs in the dragon room at the upper right corner of Criteria landing site, and then from there we are going to speed boost ourselves into the gauntlet and gather some more energy and some missiles. And then we're going to begin back our descent down to the Big Pink, and we're going to start collecting the stuff in Big Pink down in Brinstar, because now we have the equipment and the power. And as you can see, both Kekumanshoyu and Feral were using short charges to get up to the platform here, making themselves a little bit easier on the energy tanks. Feral, nicely done, only had 29 left in the tank, no in reserve. So he stops just shy of the door, which I think he was sort of planning on. And it looked like he accidentally just supered the energy tank. I think he's hoping for a bonus glitch energy tank out of that or something. Either that or it was a misfire. Extreme misfire. Kekumanshoyu shoving the last 30 into his tank. Makes it in with 36 energy left. Feral lining himself up for the descent down the grapple gauntlet. Now Kekumanshoyu is doing himself some deboosting. Deadly Jellyfish, at this point, neither one are going to deviate from the route that they're on. They're both doing new route. But if they have any variations of their own, like they do something differently to save time, that I'm not sure of just yet. But I do know they're both running new route. Long since been confirmed about, say, 15 minutes ago. But as you can see, we have the first thing that we got to do is we got to pick up from the animals. And it looks like Feral has a little bit of an unhappy look on his face at the moment. He is running slightly behind his splits. Looks like, actually, it looked like he had a bad gravity. Came in with 53 seconds above his best timing. And he's currently running 37 seconds plus to go get the Edicum power bombs. So this is where it can, start to get kind of dangerous. You start to wonder about how fast you're going, so. But he's definitely doing his good job to keep it, pretty far ahead. But again, Kekumanshoyu, screen by screen, has managed to put, a little bit of effort in catching back up to him just as Feral leaves a room. So it's now becoming just about a screen away of difference between the two. And of course, a lot of things could change coming up here on Big Pink. We have a couple different things we gotta do. We have to fight a couple of giant side hoppers to get some power bombs. We have to fight some more side hoppers to get an energy tank, and then we have to go below the charge statue and get ourselves another energy tank. And additionally, we still have to do the Spo skip. And all this is coming together now because we have power bombs, we have gravity, we have speed booster, we have wave beam. These are all the four essential things we need to do all the break-ins, the things we need to do. Feral with the fast drop here. Let's see if he can use it to get out of there. Oh! Unfortunately, it looked like he timed his jump to the wrong direction a little too late and unfortunately bonked his head. So he will not be getting back up. He'll have to continue back down and around. So that's going to be probably about a 10-second, setback there from not getting it. But he does get the Sports Spawn skip first try. So that's going to save time. Kekumanshoyu does get it, though. So he doesn't have to sit there and do the tiny morph puzzle. This will allow him to get straight to the Spo skip, or he can go straight to the giant room. Yep, he's going straight for the giant room. Oh, he actually touched the ground before getting the item. Okay. Thank you. But as we can see, almost a nice high five between Feral and Kekumanshoyu. So the only thing really separating each other at the moment is the Spore Spawn skip. So, which Kekumanshoyu is going to do right now. So again, they are mere moments from being tied up completely, and Kekumanshoyu possibly popping off a lead. He's having a little bit of trouble with this Spore Spawn skip. There we go. You know what they say, third time's the charm. Problem is when you devote something to muscle memory and you don't get it, I think that's where like some frustration sets in. Like, it's hard to compete on this type of level and keep improving steadily without noticing that you like mess up somewhere else. And like that can sometimes weigh on someone's mind. Because both these players are, very excellent players in their own rights. Very accomplished, they have their own PBs, they do very well in a very competitive setting. Again, it's just, the mental distraction of if you don't get something the first time or if this strat doesn't work for you immediately, like you begin to wonder if it's like mentally draining on them or if it's like, affecting them in any way possible. But again though, they're so close together. So very close together that anything could go either way. So as you can see, we just finished up Big Pink on both screens. All we have left to do is get this one extra missile here. And now we begin our descent back down Red Tower in order to go into Meridia. Now, normally most people would have Grapple Beam by the time they hit Meridia because there's some key points where Grapple could help out a lesser experienced player. But we also have our Speed Booster, so we don't necessarily need Grapple 100% to do some of the tricks we need to do. I mean, if you like frying your shrimp, Grapple Beam's a great item, but otherwise, it's just for accessibility of moving around. Very nice job by Feral, getting a very good boost into the ceiling. And again, Kekumanshoyu is almost catching up completely here. So it could come down to a very, very tight race from Ridley's door all the way back to the Golden Four. That short charge. That short charge indeed. Feral almost had a nice time shot there. It looked like he was trying to shoot the wall and get the missile to pop open. And he ever so slightly was off just a couple pixels from actually grabbing it. So he ended up falling down and having to jump back up to get it. Shine Spark up into Momo Turtle's room. Beautiful. So now we're just grabbing the Main Street Crab Supers. Kekumanshoyu, very nice job. Gets the pickup stat that it... Gets the pickup combo he was hoping that Feral got. And now we have Feral, who's on his way to Meridia Beach. Very forgettable place, Meridia Beach. Especially at any percent. 100% though, we are required to slip on our bikini, put on some suntan lotion, and, well... Actually, forget the suntan lotion, we're just going for a swim. As we can see, both players making very excellent use of their wall jumps to help them navigate some of the more narrow and tighter places to help themselves get around. Wall jumping is one of our greatest accessibilities when it comes to Super Metroid. Sort of makes platforming a joke. Then we see another high five, where Kekumanshoyu is entering Meridia Beach as Feral is leaving. So again, getting so close. So close. I definitely think by Ridley at the latest, we're definitely going to see a possibility of it coming very close together. We can see Feral, who is now in the main lobby of Meridia, is on his way to fight everyone's favorite sea snake, Botwoon. Botwoon, really an easy fight. If you can nail an X Factor and then pop off a couple supers. And by a couple, I mean 6. He almost had that all together, but unfortunately had to take the 2 round. And here comes Kekumanshoyu, who will be entering into Botwoon's lair in a moment. Feral setting it up. Ooh! Just ran out of time on the Shine Spark, so unfortunately does not get the full halfie. Kekumanshoyu denying Botwoon entrance back into the hole. Shoots his head off with no problem whatsoever. Gets the 1-rounder. Here's his chance. Can he nail the full halfie and get the ground he needs? Yes, he does! The full halfie hits, and we are now closer together than ever. High five between the room. It is going to come down to some amazing RNG fighting between Dragon here for both players. Again, the strategy, they're going to try to X-Factor Dragon on the first appearance and Shine Spark into him. And in the process of doing this, they're going to try to Shine Spark into Dragon enough times to kill Dragon with the Shine Spark in order to get a blue suit. What this is going to do is so that they can make it through the Coliseum, is the room where we did the full halfie, and make it back quicker. As you can see, Feral having a bit of trouble here with Dragon. Dragon not exactly playing nice. Kekumanshoyu is sinking in a couple extra super missiles. Couldn't tell if he was going for the straight kill or not. Ooh! Mere moments behind each other. I can't tell on Feral's screen if he still has the blue suit or not. Feral indeed lost his blue suit. I don't know how, but Feral lost his blue suit on the way out. Kekumanshoyu uses his and gets the boost across. This is going to put them both on equal footing here. Alright, so we see Feral opting to get the energy tank now. Meanwhile, Kekumanshoyu is just taking the dive down. So, while both players are indeed going to the same areas at the same time at this moment, it is good purpose to note that Feral is still one item ahead of Kekumanshoyu in the form of the energy tank outside of Botswan's area. But they're still pretty much on the same path, and as you can see, they both just set up to put Ice and Spazer back on. They're going to be coming up to one of the more difficult moments of the game. This is where time expectance is going to really take a hit. The big moment coming up that we talked about early in the route deviation. This is this particular reason we got Ice Beam before getting Grapple Beam. We're going to use this in order to make an Ice Clip sledge, in order to make a distance jump, using the Ice Clip to get Spring Ball. And another coffee break. Kekumanshoyu having a little bit of trouble in the sand pits on the return trip here. Currently, both players have tried for the setup and are having a little bit of difficulty. We'll see what happens first. Oh, Feral was in first, but Kekumanshoyu was just behind him. Dang. This is still so close to call. So again, both players just so magically behind each other at this point. It's just mere pennies and seconds away from it turning tides. Such a good matchup. Oh! I did not notice, but Kekumanshoyu has just taken the lead coming through the turbo tunnel. If kekumanshoyu can come out of here and get back to bot 2 and pick up the energy tank fast enough to stay ahead, kekumanshoyu has just taken the lead. It's going to come down to some very tight planning of these rooms. So you can see Feral pulling just slightly ahead again. So again, this is now a neck and neck tug of war race to the end. Here we go with Cack Attack Alley. Both had pretty decent Cack Attack Alleys. It looked like Feral got slightly hung up. So this is going to allow kekumanshoyu enough time to get the energy tank. Alrighty, we're back to 3 seconds between each other. Nice! Don't get caught! Oh. Kekumanshoyu almost got doomed. Almost got doomed there. Oh. Dear goodness. That would have been a very, very decisive soft lock if he continued upward. But thankfully, he does manage to get back down and get another speed boost going, so he's safe. So now we've picked up the last bits of Meridia. Just gonna get out. Oh, it's below. Okay. I couldn't remember which one, unfortunately for him, that Oates fell into. It was either the above one or the below one. It was one of the two, and remember he ended up soft locking. I was away from my computer at the time. So you can see both players are now picking up the Create extra missile package. We're back to being as close can be. We're just back to having one room difference and pretty much no item difference at the moment. You can see here trying to do some excellent speed keeps. For the most part, had that going. Good job by Feral. Definitely trying to keep as much of a lead as he can coming into the lower half of Norfair. Very nice D boost. So we are now in Lower Norfair. First thing we gotta do is we gotta flush the asset out of the backdoor swimming pool. And talk to everyone's favorite annoyance, Golden Chorizo. Again, both players are practically sitting on top of each other at this moment. Oh, it's called the lavatory. Okay. My bad. So now again we have Golden Chorizo, everyone's favorite pain in the arse. Mainly because of incooperations. Both charging up a Shine Spark. Collecting Screw Attack. Feral, very nice job, uses it and gets through the hole. Kekumanshoyu gets himself a boost up and was just a pixel shy of almost hitting his head. Thankfully does not. Kekumanshoyu picking up an extra super. And does fast pillars super fast. And now we have the easiest room in the game, because Screw Attack. Feral taking Ridley's heart in a jar in the form of missiles. Kekumanshoyu as well. And this will cause Ridley to be extra easy. LOL. And now for all that acid we flushed out of the laboratory. Here's the swimming pool. And have fun. Both had a very excellent climb through the room. Again, they were hugging the wall and just tapping the jump button so they could maintain the space jump as long as possible. And now we have a different setup. Kekumanshoyu here is going to get the E-Tank? No, he just went to get the power bomb. I guess he realized he was short a power bomb. I don't remember him blowing all his power bombs though. That's kind of weird. And then just remembering, oh crap, I can't spend this one. There we go. So, my understanding though, while he was there, is why he did not go and get an E-Tank. Like, the E-Tank was in graphs, so I am slightly questioning why just going for the power bomb alone. Definitely could have pulled himself a little bit of love room if he went back and got the E-Tank too. Not looking for the cargo. Offers to keep going straight. Meanwhile, we have Feral, who's fighting with everyone's favorite bad dragon, Ridley. Having a pretty decent fight here. Once again, Ridley being Ridley. So as we can see, as one enters, one exits. Shooting a high five with one empty room. As you can see, Kekumanshoyu is having a little bit better love with Ridley. Ridley's not playing too much mind to him, just kind of poking it away here. This is allowing Kekumanshoyu to get a lot of an easier fight with Ridley. And submits himself to Ridley so Ridley can just blow himself up. Because that's every man's true dream. To blow up after be given hope. Anyway, as we can see, Kekumanshoyu picks up the energy tank and will now be heading back all the way to the fire flea room. Get the energy tank that he sort of left in the wind. Oh, Feral's setting it up. Let's see if he can get it. Ooh! Unfortunately, it said hello to the wall. So he's attempting a speed keep there to use Spring Ball to break through the blocks and get the item. Unfortunately, no love. And kekumanshoyu picking up the energy tank he could have gotten 2 minutes ago. Oh well, things happen. See, Feral is now on his way out of Lower North Fair at the moment. He's going to pick up the final missile, the Franker Z missile. And that will conclude his Lower North Fair tour. Now all he has to do is go finish up the couple pieces of Bubble Mountain we've forgotten. Head on down to say hello to Crocomire, collect all that, and then it's off to collect the final things in Brinstar before we can go say hi to Mother Brain. So as you can see, Feral is now picking up the last reserve tank he needs. Also picking up these reserve missile. Reserve missile. Wow. Last missile in North Fair. At least in Bubble Mountain. Kekumanshoyu is now out of Lower North Fair himself. We'll be cleaning up Bubble Mountain, the rest of North Fair himself as well. Nice deboost off the spikes there to get the missiles. Again, any frame saved is welcomed. Kekumanshoyu there, making like Houdini, managing to freeze the Nova without killing it, and standing on top of the missiles like a platform. Oh, by the way, the aforementioned about an hour ago seizure warning about Crocomire comes into effect now. Because what we're doing is we're pumping Crocomire full of one shot of plasma. And this is going to overflow his HP and hitbox for damage. So he's just going to take a lot of hits and just step back because of it, all the way. Again, the third coffee break of the game, per se. What even was that, Kekumanshoyu? Like, what? Like, I gotta ask, what exactly was that whole jump over Crocomire for? Looked like they were trying to get a speed keep. Spike suits are very finicky to grab. I've seen a few people pull them off, but okay, so the whole purpose of going over him is to get additional chances for spike suits. Alright, that makes sense. I mean, I can understand why you would do that. I mean, it would give you the opportunity to save one for down here. You could use it to get back out. There's more different things you could use it for. Noticing Feral has grapple beam. So again, he's just ever so slightly ahead of kekumanshoyu at the moment. But thanks to all of our wonderful speedkeeping equipment, we'll be fine. Oh, my apologies, I misspoke that one. There's still plenty to go wrong in this race, though. Yeah, I thought that was a little too short. Looked like kekumanshoyu had the right timing on the super missile, but unfortunately he was just a little too high, it looked, on the first shot, so that sort of stunk, but so we got one of our last major upgrades that honestly serves no purpose whatsoever other than just to be there. We have the X-ray visor, or the X-ray scope, excuse me. It serves a great purpose for people who need some time to get used to the game. This helps them find all the hidden passages. Oh yeah, true. X-ray is purposeful for our stand-up glitch if you mess it up. Feral there, I don't know if he's doing professional courtesy or had a blank out moment, but he was trying to stand on the yapping maw for some reason. I don't understand why exactly he was doing that. Ah. That makes some sense. So as you can see, we got another couple of giant side hoppers, easily dispatched by Spear Attack if you so desire. Picking up some more power bombs. Making our way back to Old Brinstar. Couldn't tell if He was going for reverse slinky or not, kekumanshoyu. It looked like he was starting for it, but did not get the proper timing put together for it altogether. Feral, getting ready to start off his run, realized that he had X-ray equipped, which unfortunately takes up our run button when we want to use it, so hooray for trotting! Now we got Feral picking up in the double for nothing room. Here's 2 missiles because we have no other good reason other than to put them here. A little hi-fi in the tunnel. So it looks like at this moment both players could be feasibly locking in for a 122 to possibly 123, depending on how well their Torian goes, for a completion time. But as you can see, Feral is now picking up the last remnants of Old Mother Brain. Has to pick up one last super missile, and then we have to pick up the 101st item of the game, final missile. That will give us 100% completion, and Feral just making sure that was a power bomb door. Because why not? Just gotta make sure it blows up the right way. Feral just got his last missile. This will conclude his collection. Kekumanshoyu getting his last one, accidentally wasting a power bomb. Realistically, Torian should not be taking you 20 minutes unless you're playing Redesign or Redesign Axial. Then it should take you about 20 minutes to an hour and 20 minutes. Feral taking a well-deserved moment to stretch himself and get ready for the final confrontation. Who is letting his frustrations be known about X-Ray. Kekumanshoyu taking a deep breath, grabs himself a towel, cleans his hands. Definitely gonna be sweaty by this point, especially with all the high pace action. So Feral is the first one to enter into Torian, our final leg of the race. Feral, another couple x-rays, messes up a little bit, so he just decides to group room 1, takes another x-ray, shoots a missile at the door. I think he's just going for a comedy run at this point, especially with how things have been going. There's another x-ray. Feral pops off a few more x-rays. I'm pretty sure Kekumanshoyu has plenty of time to catch up. Alrighty, so we have Feral, who is currently on the giant Metroid, or the baby, excuse me. Gets a 6 spin and jumps over. Ooh! Oh, that was not what Kekumanshoyu was looking for. Another epic seizure warning. So Kekumanshoyu, unfortunately, is gonna have to take the refill, so it's gonna have to take Feral taking it down to Mother Brain to force Feral's hand away from being pretty much ultimately the victor until things hit the wayside. So we will see if an accidental x-ray or two does not creep its way into this fight to finish off Feral. Here comes the catch-ups. There goes the catch-ups. Directed at Samus Fan in chat. For the amount of energy that Kekumanshoyu had in reserve, he would have died getting here versus going to take the refill. Even if he did use the Crystal Flash, he would have had to refill all of his regular missiles too. So in either situation, he would have had to refill. And shout out to double 69s. Oh! Oh my goodness! Yeah. Talk about slicing your bread a little close to the stove. Ooh, Keku almost got stuck in stand-up. But yeah, he had he had 169 and 69 missiles prior to the accidental face check. Trying to save the Metroid. Unfortunately, Kez not be able to take those. Kekumanshoyu had a 3-round fight with Mother Brain. Feral, meanwhile, had an excellent spark up the shaft through the escape here, and is losing all that time he just made. And gives no care about bringing home some steak or chicken wings. See ya, animals. And now just fluffing around with X-Ray for the fun of it, shooting off some victory missiles. Because why not? We have this in the bag. Now just... there we go. Puts it in the hole. So after a victory of montaging with missiles and X-Ray, Captain Show-Off Feral5x finishes with an SRL time of 126.03. SRL time of 126.03. It looks like someone's... nope. Trollish. With the trolling, kekumanshoyu just finished with an SRL time of 127.01, which beats his old personal best of 127.50, so a 49-second race improvement PB for kekumanshoyu. At this moment, though, we are waiting to see. We need to see if everyone has 100%. If Feral does not have 100%, this will automatically grant kekumanshoyu the win if he has 100%. So hold on to your pants and hang on tight. We got some credits to watch. By the way, shoutouts to kekumanshoyu for using Guile's theme for his credit music. Alright, here we go with Feral. Moment of truth. %. So indeed, Feral will be moving on in his match. So he triumphs over kekumanshoyu today. So this will move him forward in the tournament. kekumanshoyu checking in with what he's got right now. He himself also has 100%. So again, very good race by both competitors. Unfortunately, this will do it for kekumanshoyu in this setup of the tournament. And we'll have Feral5x move on, and his next opponent, the next time we see Feral race, will be Jack8779. So it looks like that's going to do it for now, folks. But coming up in just 20 minutes, if Final Fantasy 1 is your cup of tea, the Total Chaos Tournament will be coming into play. It's going to be a nice match. That'll be coming up exactly in 20 minutes. It's going to be amazingly fun. And then if you're ready for more action for Super Metroid, come back and join us at 4 p.m. We have Banco87 versus Hillborn. By the way, my money's on Hillborn. Additionally, we have one more match this evening at 8 o'clock as well, and that is Scrooger versus Matrick 2298. So we got those amazing matches for you tonight, and then we have all sorts of amazing matches and more. You can find out by looking at the links below to catch up on all the schedules and the fun action you may need for here on Speed Gaming. For right now, for this wonderful, wonderful tournament, I have been Sacred Hooves. It's been a pleasure to entertain you folks while we take on this tourney. See you next mission.